Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Gaura Premanandi. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Suttar Shri Shrimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Suttar Shri Shrimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Singh Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinacha Makunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mathura Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Shri Kshetra Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Maharani Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Ki Transcendental Advaita Book Distribution Ki Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Itai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna everyone. So welcome to today's Saturday feast class, and we are very blessed and fortunate to have His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu with us. Let's give a big Haribol to Prabhu. Haribol!
Hello.
So His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu joined ISKCON in 1984 in Singapore. Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and Prabhu served him as a personal secretary between 1992 and 1995. Prabhu is the initiating guru in ISKCON and also director of education at the Houston Temple. Prabhu holds both Bhakti Sastri and Bhakti Vaibhava degree and also conducts the ISKCON disciple course. And since 2005, Prabhu has been traveling to Australia and various other Asian countries. So we are very fortunate to have Prabhu's regular visit to Australia, specifically Brisbane. So today, Prabhu will be giving this class, and this is the last class in ISKCON Brisbane Temple. So thank you all for coming. And also, please requesting everyone, just if you can move a little bit forward. I know that more people will come, so that it will make more space. But thank you very much, Prabhu, for coming to ISKCON Brisbane and grace us with the association and the valuable instruction. So with that note, we'll request Prabhu to start the session. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Good evening. Good to see all of you. All right, so Somendra Krishna Prabhu said I should discuss or talk about one of our acharyas. A few days ago we were celebrating the disappearance day of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I'll touch on some of the things so you all can appreciate Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Okay? Om Ajnana Tamirandasya Jananjana Shalaka Chakshu Sanmiritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Garati Vachanam Pangam Langayate Girim Yatkipatamam Vande Shri Gurum Denotaranam Paramananda Madhu Shri Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gododiya Pushpanto Chitra Sando Tamolito. Okay, so his full name is Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We know him affectionately as Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us today to hear about some of his glories, how he actually came to this position of one of the, I would say one of the greatest acharyas in our lineage, in our Guru Parampara. Just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the golden moon of divine love, you can say Bhaktivinoda Thakur is like the brilliant dawn that prepared the world to receive the moonlight once again. Because after Mahaprabhu left and through various other teachers, the practice of Vaishnavism really floundered and went down. A lot of different groups started to do many strange things. Now, before we get into the proper discussion, let's chant his pranam mantra. You can follow after me. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya,
Namo Bhakti Vinodaya,
Satchitananda Murtaye,
Satchidananda Murtaye,
Gaura Shakti Swarupaya,
Gaura Shakti Swarupaya,
Rupanuga Varayate.
Rupanuga Varayate.
Now that translates to, I offer my obeisances to you, O Bhakti Vinod, the form of eternity, knowledge and bliss, the incarnation of Gaura's potency, and the best of the followers of Rupa Goswami. So nice to meditate like that. Now he took birth in 1838, long time. Sunday, September the 2nd, 1838. His parents were Ananda Chahadra, or no, actually Ananda Chandra Datta, and mother's name was Jagan Mohini Devi. And it was in the district Ula Grama or Ula Birnagar. This is the home of his maternal grandfather. That's when he was born. This was after 352 years after the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. After the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now when he was 2 years old, just 2 years old, you can think about your own kids, those who have, he composed his first poem. This is like a genius, Yeah. It was very extraordinary. The parents were like, what's going on? Right? And he was writing devotional songs, poems, full of devotion for the Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna. And he didn't have any kind of education at that time. So he was able to actually write his first poem when he was 2 years old. Okay. So it is said like sometimes the Supreme Lord sends his personal friends or his personal associates to this material work for the purpose of attracting us to worship him in a proper mood. The reason is many of us, although we were so-called born in the Vedic culture or so on, we didn't even know how to worship. So the Lord sometimes, out of his infinite compassion, sends his associates so that they can teach us how to actually practice devotional service. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur was one of those individuals. So this is his scholarship is not something that he gained, like we study and so on. These are self-manifested, and it is self-manifested in the eternal associates of Sri Krishna. They are perfect associates. So whatever they say, such perfected personalities who come down, whatever they say is as good as the scripture. Okay, that's not different. Just like Prabhupada says, Narottam Das Thakur's poems are as good as the Shastra. It's very simple language. He extols the glories of the Lord and besieges all of us to actually surrender to the Supreme Person and so on. Right. So we shouldn't compare the poems written by such personalities to mundane topics or mundane scholarship and so on, or even mundane sound vibration. Now it is said that I'm not sure how often you all sing Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs, but it's said that if you very carefully look at the words, the way the Bhaktivinoda Thakur uses the words, it awakens the mood of wanting to glorify the Supreme Person. And it's full of devotional sentiments, So that was at 2 years old. At 6, he had already learned all the details of historic epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana. So, have you seen a 6-year-old do that? Very rare, Very rare, extremely rare. We don't find such capabilities nowadays. So we can understand this is divinely inspired, just like Madhva Acharya also. Like 5 years or 6 years, he told his parents he wanted to take sannyas. And the parents said, no, you can't, you're a little boy. Then he said, I want to go. Then they said, you're our only child. Then he said, when you get another child, then you have to let me go. That's how Madhvacharya was. So in the same way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was 6 years old, he was able to study the Mahabharata and Ramayana, and he could speak fluently. I mean, we have read Mahabharata, Ramayana many times, and still when we sit here to talk, we are like, this, maybe. But it's, in one sense, from mundane point of view, he's the genius. That's the closest I can describe from a normal material sense. But But because we understand who he is, because we have extensive literature about the Acharya, not only that, he himself wrote his own autobiography, and he explains who he is spiritually also. So he's not an ordinary person. So understanding devotional scriptures is not a mundane exercise. It's not like that. To get the revelation, the meaning, it has to come from the heart. So you can see when what he has written and his explanations actually reveal that this is not ordinary revelation. Okay, so it's important to distinguish who is a manifested spiritual personality and who is a mundane scholar. Now, at 9 years old, he was extensively researching astrology. I was wondering, why is he doing all that? But actually, that was to, figure out actually where he is, or to understand the position of the material universe. And in his own autobiography, he says he started to inquire into spiritual truth at the age of 10. So very, very keen intensity there was in wanting to know at that age. Many of us here adults, how intense we are in wanting to pursue and find out the practice and how to further our advancement spiritually. We fail in comparison to the Acharya, the Thakur here, And although he was naturally fixed in spiritual truth, he displayed some pastimes to demonstrate what we can say the character of a human being. We all have a unique way of living our material life, so he also demonstrated that. But actually he's not of this world, he's from the spiritual world. He's a Nitya Siddha. And so what he did, according to his biography, was he began to mix with people in order to find out what preoccupied them. Right? He wanted to find out and what they were thinking. Sometimes when we go out to meet people and help them understand spirituality, we also ask them about their life, what they do, the school they go to, and so on, to get a feel in the pulse, how they are thinking and in what way we can actually connect them to the Supreme Person, right? We have to know some background and so on. So he was doing the same thing, what they were thinking. And being young, he would speak so sweetly and very respectful. He actually would win over so many of the people he encountered. And in discussion, he would point out flaws in people's argument. Sometimes a circular argument or illogical way of discussing and so on. So he would point out. And the way he said it was so sweet. They didn't feel angry with him. They felt joyful. This kid is so smart like that, But again, like I said, if it's an ordinary boy at this age, you don't find them here. They're downstairs running crazy, right? The average 10-year-old or whatever. Yeah, you can hear them. Probably playing footy or soccer or whatever it is. So therefore, this is not within the ordinary capacity of a 10-year-old, okay? And one of the interesting things that he himself claims is he was very interested in festivals. There was in his hometown or village, they would celebrate all kinds of festivals, devotional festival, religious festival, or any festival he saw. And so once he saw some personality, his last name is Brahmachari, and so he was performing some tantric works, tantras they would use, and he was worshipping some spirit or whatever. And in his inner door, in one of the rooms, in his inner room, he had a human skull. He had a human skull. So the local people would say that if you fed the skull with water or milk, it will smile at you. So the Thakur was very curious. So one day he snuck in, and then he went to the altar where the skull was in the inner room, took the skull down, and he said he poured a lot of water. And then he saw that the skull didn't smile at him. And he said he was kind of disappointed. He became disappointed. He looked down at the skull, yeah, but he never smiled back. He writes in his autobiography, I tried, but it never smiled back. And then another time he visited an astrologer who was very popular in this village. When he came there, the astrologer was actually celebrating Durga Puja and so on. So when he arrived there, the little boy was curious, and he saw a carpenter painting the whole place for the celebration. And he struck a conversation with the carpenter, and he made friends with him. He liked the carpenter. And so he asked many questions. He said the carpenter was very nice. He didn't say, go away, don't disturb me. He answered all his questions, he said. And so at one point he said, when does the spirit enter the Durga statue? He's asking, This is a little boy is asking. Because he has heard, we do the ceremonies and all, right? And so he asked him, when does the spirit of God enter these statues? Then the carpenter said, when I paint the eyes of the dolls, and then they will become alive, And then he said he was watching very closely, and when the carpenter painted the eyes, he saw no divinity enter into the toys. So he was very bright, not someone you can just say and he'd run away. So he's very exceptional, and from a very early age he displayed exceptional intelligence, and a lot of curiosity. On top of that, there was compassion. From a young age, there's compassion. So you can, actually among your own kids, you can see who is compassionate or not. Then you can mark down, this one is trouble, this one is not bad. Yeah, so it will help you, to, at least accept that you can, when they grow up, you have to be ready, prepare for the worst. Actually, that's how life should be. You should always prepare for the worst, and when things don't go that bad, you can be relieved. Yeah, otherwise, if you go through life expecting the best and it doesn't turn out, you will feel disappointed, depressed, and then you have to go and see the local shrink, and he will be happy. Yeah, this is how life is. So he was very amazing person. Now he mastered several languages, not just only Bengali. He also studied Sanskrit, Persian language, Urdu, English, and some Arabic languages. Very intelligent, and he became very interested in philosophy, religion, literature, history. So when you read some of his books, you can see how his thought processes, how he aligns everything, his amazing personality. So mostly saintly people, what they do, they go away from the city. They go to somewhere quiet, and they take refuge in the forest or in some place where they can worship. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was young, they named him Kedaranath Datta. Okay, that's what his name. So he entered public service. He worked for the government and so on, for the British Raj. And because he was so qualified, extremely qualified, although they tried to put him down and not let him get promoted, he was so qualified. He was better than their own people. So they had to elevate him, and he became the very respected magistrate under the British rule, and not only that, when he judged any cases, they could see his reputation was he was very fair, extremely fair. and honesty. No one could match his honesty, and fairness and integrity. Yeah. So these are qualities of one who is practicing the Supreme Person. If you believe in God, you also must exhibit qualities that reflect the Supreme Person also. So therefore, we shouldn't lie. We should be very honest, fair, and full of integrity in our life. Which somehow or other we have to incorporate that aspect of it. Otherwise, what's the point in even knowing the life of such great person? Oh, that was a good story. Yeah, see you. Yeah, that's how it is. But no, we are meant to learn from such great saintly personalities. At the same time, he was very devoted. A very devoted person. He was a good husband and he was a good father also. And he had a large family. Right? He married, I think he married twice, no? Yeah, the first wife died after giving birth. And then the second wife, so in total he had 13 children. Right? Nowadays, the average family number of children is 2.2. In Australia. I don't know where the 0.2 is. Maybe it's the pets that they have in there. Yeah, probably. Yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah, that makes sense. 0.2. Right. So so not just raising family. The family members were all very religious. He gave them culture. He gave them personality. He made them understand their relationship with the Supreme Personality of God. He also gave them the ability to connect with the Supreme Lord. Not just raising children like dogs and cats, Prabhupada used to say. That's not human. We are human beings of better intelligence. So if you look at his life, there's a book called the Sixth Goswami, and then there's another book by. I don't know. That's not his life. That's Lord Chaitanya's life. Sukhavak, right? He wrote a book, Modernity in Hinduism. Yeah, a book on Bhakti Vinod Thakur. You can Google it. I think it should be there. And then the seventh Goswami, seventh Goswami, by. No, it's not covered. Right, so a lot of one of the things he also thought was spiritual perfection is not just limited to people who go out into the forest to meditate and so on. It's not just monks or renunciants. It's to the average householder also can perform spiritual perfection. You can come to the same stage, provided we take it up seriously. In life, you have to do things seriously. You can't do half-hatchet job. You can't do things like that. You won't gain anything. You might know something, but you don't have a complete picture. So it's important that if you pursue spiritual life, you go all the way. Don't just do halfway or half-heartedly. So even though you can be in a family life, it doesn't mean you cannot love the Supreme Person, or you cannot give your whole heart to the service of the Lord. You can still maintain your work outside. He showed us, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he had more responsibilities than many of us here. Yeah. So he did it, and sometimes people still say, oh, those days they had this, that, and so on. He didn't even have nursery for his children to go, He and his wife took care of all of them. No complaints there. So it's important to understand that if we really focus nicely, the Lord will give you the intelligence how to maneuver through this life. Okay. Now, to appreciate his greatness, you have to understand the condition of the Gaudiya Vaishnavism in Bengal during the 19th century. Yeah, you have to appreciate that. After Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared, there were other acharyas who were pushing the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. But there were also many unauthorized groups who started to crop up and and they claim that they are the ones who represent his teachings. They were very, they started to practice based on sentiments, emotions, or imitation, or even moral compromise. They were doing all that, and it became so widespread in such a fashion that the ordinary people looked down on Vaishnavas. These guys are low class, the way they will be heard. He writes, numerous heretical sects or upper sampradayas were formed. There were 13 such heretical sects. Owl, Baul, not the owl that flies, but
Not bowl.
and not bowls, Baul, Kartabhaja, Nera, Daravesha, Sain, Sahajya, many of you know that, Sakibeki, pretending to be like a cowherd lady, men dressing up like women, running around, flashing their eyelashes and so on, Smarta, Jata Gosani, Atibari, Churadari, Gauranga Nagiri, Tota, that's it, So many groups claiming to know what divinity is all about, claiming to teach what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing. So as Bhaktivinoda was watching all this, he saw that the upper class educated people in Bengal at that time were shocked and disgusted at the such practices. And so he decided this is wrong, and so there was no way the ordinary people could understand what is true teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's no way. And so he came to actually help understand what are the real and true teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 1800s. That's what was one of his major contributions. He became very, very compassionate to the ordinary people. He had pity, real pity. So he wanted to do something. We may see someone suffer, we may have pity, but we won't do anything. We go home and go under our blankets and hope to forget it. So that's not good, So he therefore decided to educate the local people, and he started to write a lot. It is said that he wrote more than 100 books, not just in Bengali, he also wrote in several languages also. He was an amazing personality. His daily program would be, he would sleep after dinner, he would sleep at maybe 10 o'clock, and then he'll get up at midnight, and then he'll start to write, up till 4 in the morning. Then he'll take a short rest, and then he'll get up, take shower, then he'll chant his round. And then after he chants his round, he'll have his breakfast, right? He writes, he has a pint of hot milk, 4 chapatis, or 2 chapatis, something, 1 sabji, like that. And then he will take that, and then he'll go at around 9 or 10 o'clock, he'll go to his courtroom to preside over the many cases. He'll do that, he'll come back for lunch, same thing he'll eat, very similar, and then go back. And then in the afternoon is when he finishes all the cases. He never lets any case go to the next day. He judges everything immediately on the same day, and as I said, they were shocked. He always got it 100%. There was never doubts when he passed judgment. So therefore, he was one of the amazing personalities. So he saw dangers that was happening in society. One thing that was happening also at the same time was dry intellectualism without devotion. Okay? People know, and this is also very important in our own movement. Don't just accumulate knowledge. Important things we have to practice. Practice properly with the right connection, with the right sentiment towards the Lord, with the blessings of the devotees or like-minded personality. Ask them, please bless me so that I can develop love of God, not I want to just have more information and knowledge and I look good, that's not our philosophy. Prabhupada never thought that. And then the other one was, they were all sentimental about the thing, but they had no philosophy. And so that was the other danger he saw. And so he wanted to restore the authentic teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so he spent a lot of time, a lot of research. He would go from, he'll take time off and go to different villages just to do research so that he can give the society what is the reality. Just give up his time, even on weekends or what, he would just go and so on. Now at that time when he was very popular and so on, he was in Oriya. So at that time there was a great yogi, very powerful yogi. I think you all know that, Vishakeshana. And this person was an amazing character because he had what we call yoga siddhi. He had mystical power. When you do yoga properly, not the yoga studios you go, but if you really do yoga properly, you can get powers, but these are all material powers. We are not interested in that. But anyway, there was this personality from one of these Atibari sectors, and he attained this yogic potency where he could do things to people. So people were afraid of him. So then he claimed that he was God. He was God. And then he told the local people that I'm hiding in the forest and no one else knows me, but on the 13th of this month or whatever, I'll begin the war against this British. I'll take on the four-armed form and I'll destroy all the Malechas in this country. And then one of the things he was also doing was, which many people like, is curing disease. Right? Sometimes you hear this guy can, so you find thousands of people will go, to meet such mystics, right? So he had the ability to actually cure people. So when he did that, people like, he's God. It's so easy to become God, you just have to cure people of sickness. So there were many incurable diseased people, and he would cure them. In this way, he won a large following. But one day he became so proud, he announced that on a certain day, it's a full moon day, he wants to perform Rasa Leela. The dancing with the ladies. So he invited the girls of the nearby villages, and I guess they were so innocent, and they came and joined him in the full moon. But then what happened was, the girls later went home and said they were all raped by him. So he raped them actually. So then the village leaders and they came to the commissioner. At that time it was the district commissioner Raven Shaw, and they complained. But of course the Britishers don't want to get involved in the local things, so they looked for someone they can, pin it on. So they found the Thakur. So they asked him to see what he can do, and so he personally went to the jungle to meet with this person, Vishakeshana, and then they had a long discussion about who God is and so on. So then he told, he's a Noriya, so he told Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I am the living God. The one in Jagannath Puri, he's not, he's just the wood, lifeless wooden. As soon as he said that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, no, this is a fake guy, because he doesn't know who Jagannath is. So, and then Bhaktivinoda Thakur then did a lot of research, about him later on. But in the meantime, this yogi didn't want to encounter problems with the British Raj and the administration. So he started flattering Bhaktivinoda Thakur and said, you're such a wonderful person. Why don't you, work with me and I will take care of you and so on. Of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw through this guy and there was no intention of working with him. And so he knew this person is just deceiving the common people, taking their money and enjoying his senses. And so therefore he called the police who was with him and he arrested him and put him in the prison. But of course this yogi is very powerful too. So what he did was he warned the Bhakti, if you don't release me on such and such date, your family will suffer. They will become sick and they'll die. And you will die also. So it is said that on that day, Bhaktivinoda Thakur got sick, his family got sick, and his wife came to him and said, why don't you just let him go? Our children are going to die. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, no, I believe in Krishna. He said, I'll chant and this thing will go away. So by the next morning, the illness that they were experiencing was all gone. And in the same time, with all the research he did about bifurcation, he got information enough to take him to court. So while they were going to bring him to the court, Bishakeshana was thinking that he will, use his potency by calling different people to go against the prison war guards and so on. But before that, one of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's colleague, he had also studied about the yoga siddhis, all the siddhis, and then the way the yogis would keep their siddha powers was in their knot, the hair. They have long hair and they put on. We have a small sikha. That's different. That's for Mahaprabhu to pull us out from nonsense. So he had a big knot, and then he said he is holding his siddhas there. So it sounds a bit odd, but anyway, in the prison the guards came and then cut it off. As soon as they cut it off, within a few days, this yogi Bishakeshana, he actually committed suicide, because he had lost his ability to control the people and so on. So you can see the thing that we learned in this pastime was Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not allow anyone to use their material powers to prove that they are God, Just because you are very intelligent or you have some siddhas, like if you can float, then you are God, floating is a big deal, And or in some cases, if you take ashes from the air, does it mean you're God? Is that all you can produce? Ashes, God means you can create entire universes, multiple universes ad infinitum, So he made it very clear, this is not God. So at the same time, when they got rid of Bishakeshana, there were another Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, another rascal in Jaipur. He claimed to be incarnation of Lord Brahma. And then someone else in another district, he says he was Balaram. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur went there and settled their incarnations in the prison ward. Now his most remarkable achievement, I think all of you know, do I have time? Okay. His most remarkable achievement was identifying the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so the original location was forgotten at that time. People have forgotten where the place of Lord Chaitanya's birthplace. So he went back into the library, historical scriptures, and he studied for many years with the local maps as well as traditions, and he talked to different personalities in different villages. And by doing that, he came to a conclusion that, because at that time people were saying Mayapur was at a certain place, but he wasn't sure, because when you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, it describes in a different place. So by doing all his studies and so on, he came to the conclusion that it was at Yoga Pit, where our ISKCON temple is now. It's like about 300-400, maybe a mile from or kilometer, I should say. Yeah. Yeah. So then, when he found the way he proved it was he invited his Siksha Guru, Jagannath Das Babaji. Yeah. You need something? You want kirtan? Yeah. So Jagannath Das Babaji, he's excited for Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Haribol. You have to put your hands up like that. Yeah. Yes. So Jagannath Das Babaji at that time was about 120 years old, and so he couldn't walk also. He was very old, and his eyelids were also fallen over because he's so old, and he was asked to come to the yoga pit. Bhakti Vinod Thakur Siksha Guru, so he told him, I think I've located the place, but if you come, I will know for sure, because you know where Mahaprabhu. So then they brought him in a basket. In those days, they will transport, in a basket. So when the person who was carrying Jagannath Das Babaji to the yoga pit, as soon as they got close, Jagannath Das Babaji jumped out like a young man. And then he was jumping and jumping, this is 120-year-old man, in ecstasy. And he was in tears, and he said, this is the place, this is the place. And that place had a lot of tulsi bushes growing. So that is how he concluded the true birthplace at Yoga Pit in Mayapur. Yeah? And so now we are so fortunate, all of us. We travel to Mayapur. Millions of pilgrims come, so many people. Those who haven't gone to Mayapur, you should go. It's a wonderful place actually. If you go there, you can feel the presence of Mahaprabhu. You can feel the Audarya rasa, that compassion, the wonderful joy you will also feel in wanting to be there. So you all should go. And right, so he wrote many books. The main best known books are Jaiva Dharma, Harinam Chintamani, Bhajana Rahasya, Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita, Kalyana Kalpaturu, and poems in Saranagati he has written. Yeah? And his central teachings in all the books is the chanting of the holy name, chanting of the holy name, like how we normally chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he emphasized very strongly the holy name. It's very important that the holy name is not different from the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. I'm going to wrap up. That therefore chanting should not be mechanical, because he is a person, he is God himself. The holy name is not different from God himself. That's what definition of God is. He can do anything and everything. He is the name, he's outside the name, he's in the name as well, non-different. And he also brought up the 10 offenses to the holy name. We chant every day. And he advised the practitioners not to criticize others. Avoid criticism. Don't become prideful. And most importantly, don't be inattentive when you are chanting. Give full attention, and then you will awaken your desire and your love for the Supreme Lord. So this is the blueprint by which ISKCON is practicing. Srila Prabhupada is very faithful. The fidelity to the Supreme Personality is through the Guru Parampara. So similarly, we should follow Srila Prabhupada very, very strictly and not come up with our own ideas and so on. Okay, I'll wrap up now. Okay, right. Huh? Another 5 minutes. All right, another 5 minutes. Yeah. Maybe what I can say is that one of the greatest things he also cultivated during his time was that devotion is accessible to everyone. It's not by birth, not by your caste, but only through your desire to please the Supreme Lord. It is through devotion. Spiritual qualification is what makes you eligible to go back to Godhead. It's not by birth. Oftentimes in India they will push the caste system. Jai Shri Shri Gonitai Ki Jai. So he rejected that idea of birth. He emphasized sincerity, he emphasized character, he emphasized humility, and he emphasized devotion. So these are things that we should cultivate in our practices. Right? Don't just mechanically practice. Ask yourself why you took initiation. What is the goal of initiation? Do you want to hang around here, or you want to go back? So that these are important things. We shouldn't just blindly do things. We should be very clear about why we are practicing, and just don't practice as a lip service, chanting lip service. Do it with intent to please the Lord, and do it with the intent that you don't want to take birth again. Unless we put that effort in our practices, the results will not manifest. We are thinking, oh, I've done that, I'm doing my duties, I come before the Lord and I say, my Lord, I love you, and then you go home but you don't practice properly. The Lord will not give you the mercy that you want. He'll give you another type of mercy that you may not want. His mood is very inclusive. Anyone from anywhere, any religious background, they can become and participate. So in the same way, Srila Prabhupada's movement is very inclusive. Anyone, right? There's no distinction that we are Hindus, and no. This is non-sectarian practice. We are, okay? And then, of course, he had a vision where he saw that one day the whole world will be chanting Hare Krishna, and that was fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada. It's about 100 years later. He fulfilled this vision that he had. Yes, that about sums it all up. So thank you very much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, Nithai Gaura Brahmanandi Hari Hari Bol. Huh? Oh. Anyone wants some questions to be answered, or you want to add something to what I said, or you have some reflections? You're most welcome to share. Otherwise, Somendra Prabhu is very excited to give you the updates. It's all yours. Yes, question.
The title that he had, Krishna Satchidananda.
Why he called himself Satchidananda? I think it was given to him, no? By the, when was it? I can't recall that. No, I think, no. Is it Bipin Bihari? No. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. The title was bestowed by a group of Vaishnavas because he was such a prolific writer. Yeah. So that's when they bestowed that title. Same with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also. When he wrote that Siddhanta book, right? Astrology. Surya Siddhanta. Yeah. And later on they bestowed that title to him. Yeah. But he was with Bhakti, not just Siddhanta. All right, then I think we'll wrap it up. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu ki. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for that wonderful session and very informative. All the points on His Divine Grace, Vaishnava Satchidananda Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So, thank you, Prabhu. You know, it's the last class in the temple. We are looking forward to again your next year visit to Brisbane. We are very fortunate that Prabhu every year visit to Brisbane, and we are looking forward to your next visit. So before we go to the next part of the program, which will be serving the Prashadam, just a few announcements. So today's feast has been sponsored by Nima, Aruna and Sadhana Mataji on the occasion of their family members' birthdays and friends and family members' birthdays. So are they here? Okay, if they are not there,
Celebrating their birthday.
yeah, we are celebrating their birthday with a wonderful feast. So let's chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra very loudly for them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, today's the cooking team. Today's feast has been prepared by our youth group, the Sacred Sangha team. So, the team consists of Madhavi, Yashi, Radhika, Purvi, Nava, Rishi, Yishika, Jannat, Palak, Vasu, and with some of the adults also helping them. Mahaman Prabhu, Manjula Mataji, Gita Govinda Mataji, and Senapati Bhakta Prabhu. So again, let's chant the Hare Krishna mantra very loudly for them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the cleaning team, obviously our main VIPs, like you know, when we go back home, they stay back at the kitchen, and in the winter, and they clean all the pots and the utensils. So they are Amish Prabhu, Dhruv Prabhu, and Bhuvnesh Prabhu. Again, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all. And so in terms of events, so next Saturday we will have there will be Ekadashi on Saturday. So we'll be having a 6-hour kirtan starting from 3 o'clock. So from 3 to 9. So that's a Ekadashi, again a very wonderful opportunity. We have sponsorship opportunity available for that Saturday feast. So if anyone want to contribute, like Krishna Mataji already ready there, sitting there, so you don't even have to go outside. So you can contribute whatever you want for the Saturday feast. And then on 28th of August, we will have our one of first biggest festival of the year, Balaram Jayanti. Shri Balaram Ki Jai. So that will be on a Friday evening. Program starts at 4:30. So again, opportunities available for sponsorship. If anyone wants to contribute, please see Krishna Mataji. And before we go to the feast, just a couple of things. First thing is obviously we'll be having the Gaurarati at 7 o'clock. So once you finish your Prashadam, please come back for the Arati. It's very important that we also attend the Arati after listening to this wonderful class and having the Prashadam. So I know that it feels nice to sit down there and have the wonderful discussion with your friends, but please also come back for Bonita because they will be waiting for you for the Arati. So come back at 7 o'clock. And then today's youth team, Janat is here. Yes. Just want to give a quick, very quick brief about the Sacred Sangha team, that what they are doing, and obviously the wonderful feast that you are going to obviously experience soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna everyone, my name is Jannat and I'd like to share a bit about our Sacred Sangha youth group. Sacred Sangha is a space for young people to come together, build friendships, strengthen their Krishna consciousness, and support each another on our spiritual journeys. Whether you've been practicing devotional service for years or completely new, everyone's welcome. Our goal is to create a community where everyone can openly ask questions, learn from one another, and grow together through meaningful discussions, kirtan, service, and association. Throughout the year, we do sorts of activities together. We cook, prepare prasadam, read and study Srila Prabhupada's books, put on drama performances for festivals, host brunches, organize kirtan nights, and take part in different devotional activities, and enjoy plenty of fun social gatherings. There's always something happening, and everyone is encouraged to get involved no matter their experience. If you're looking for a place where you can grow spiritually, make new lifelong friendships, and be a part of a welcoming community, we'd absolutely love to have you join us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sacred Sangha Team ki Jai. So before we finish, we will just say a small token of gratitude on behalf of ISKCON Brisbane Temple. Nice. Thank you. So let's again chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra very loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ISKCON Brisbane Yatra ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada